I am not a historian. I am not an archaeologist. I am just a person who one day looked at an old map and could not sleep after that. Because that map showed me something I could not explain. Every ancient civilization, Egypt, Mesopotamia, Indus Valley, Maya, Inca, thousands of years separate them. Thousands of miles separate them. No connection existed between them. No telephone, no internet, no trade route that linked them all together. And yet every single one of them went underground. Every single one of them built something below the surface. And what they built was the same. This is not a coincidence. This is a pattern. And patterns always mean one thing: there is a reason behind this. Today I am going to show you that reason. And by the end of this video, you will never look at ancient history the same way again. When we learn about ancient civilizations in school, in documentaries, in history books, we are always told the same things. These people were advanced. These people were intelligent. These people could build massive structures, pyramids, temples, great cities. But there is one question that nobody ever asks. Why did they all go underground? Every major ancient civilization built underground chambers, underground tunnels, underground rooms so complex that modern engineers still cannot fully explain them. And the official answer is always the same. It was for storage. They were tombs. They were military tunnels. But when you actually look at these chambers, when you study their dimensions, their architecture, their exact positioning, these answers fall apart completely. Because storage rooms are not designed this way. Tombs are not placed in these locations. Military tunnels are not engineered with this level of precision. So, what are they really? That is the question that changes everything. Everyone knows Egypt, pyramids, the Sphinx, great monuments rising from the desert. But what most people do not know is what lies beneath the pyramids. In 1993, a German engineer named Rudolf Gantenbrink sent a small robot camera inside the Great Pyramid. There was a narrow shaft inside the Khufu pyramid, too small for any human to enter. The camera went in, and the camera found a closed door, deep inside the pyramid. A door, inside the pyramid, sealed shut. The Egyptian government stopped the investigation immediately. In 2002, another research team received permission to continue. They opened that door. Behind it was another door. Today, in 2024, that second door is still closed. Officially, Egyptian authorities say there is probably just another chamber behind it. But here is the question nobody answers. If there is just another empty chamber, why keep the door closed for over 20 years? Then in 2017, scientists used cosmic ray muon technology. This technology can see inside solid rock without any digging, like an X-ray machine, but for ancient stone. The results revealed a massive hidden void inside the Great Pyramid, 30 meters long, officially labeled unexplored, officially under study. No physical access has been granted since the discovery. That void is real. It is confirmed by science. But what is inside it? The world has not been told. In Turkey, there is a place called Derinkuyu. In 1963, a Turkish man was renovating his home. He broke through a wall. Behind that wall was a room. Behind that room was another room. And behind that room was an entire underground city. Derinkuyu. 18 levels deep beneath the surface, going down 85 meters into the earth. This city could house more than 20,000 people. There were spaces for livestock, wineries, churches, schools, complete water systems, ventilation shafts so precisely designed that fresh air reached 85 meters below the surface without any mechanical help. The official explanation is simple. These people were hiding from enemies. But this explanation has serious problems. First, the ventilation system. If you are simply hiding from an enemy, you do not build a complex precision ventilation system. You find a cave. You hide. That is all. These ventilation shafts are angled with careful calculation. This is serious engineering. This took serious planning. Second, the permanent infrastructure. You do not build permanent wineries in a temporary hiding place. You do not build permanent schools if you are only planning to stay for a few weeks. These structures were built for permanent long-term living. So why were 20,000 people living permanently underground? What were they hiding from permanently? And Derinkuyu is not alone. More than 200 underground cities have been discovered in Turkey so far. Only in the Cappadocia region. 200 underground cities. And they are all connected through underground tunnels linking one city to the next. This is not a hiding strategy. This is a civilization that chose to live underground. In India, there is a structure that very few people outside the country know about. Rani Ki Vav, located in Gujarat, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Officially, it is described as a stepwell, built to store water, but look at its actual dimensions. It is 64 meters long, 20 meters wide, 27 meters deep. 7 levels descend into the earth. Every single level is covered in intricate carvings. More than 500 major sculptures. More than 1,000 minor sculptures decorating the walls, the pillars, every surface. Does that sound like a water storage tank? Would you cover a water tank with 1,500 sculptures? And here is the detail that changes the picture entirely. The exact position of this stepwell sits directly above a specific underground geological formation. Not just any water table, a formation with unusually high natural electrical conductivity. This could be coincidence. But then, look at the Ellora Caves. The Ellora Caves are in Maharashtra. 34 caves cut directly into solid rock carved from the top down. The Kailasa temple there is a complete temple carved out of a single massive rock. More than 200,000 tons of rock were removed to create it. The official estimate says 7,000 workers completed this over 150 years. Modern engineers have done the calculation. 7,000 workers, 150 years, working day and night. With no modern tools, no machinery, no power equipment, this level of precision is not achievable. Not even today. So how was it built? The official answer is remarkable human effort. That is not an answer. That is an avoidance. Chavin de Huantar, Peru, 3,000 years old. Above the surface, a temple complex that archaeologists have studied for decades. Below the surface, a massive network of tunnels running beneath the entire site. These tunnels are engineered with extraordinary precision. So precise that Stanford University researchers conducted a study in 2019 and confirmed something remarkable. The acoustic design of these tunnels was deliberate, acoustic design, meaning these tunnels were specifically built so that sound enters from one direction, bounces in a calculated way, and concentrates at one specific point inside the tunnel system. That is not military engineering. That is not storage design. That is something else entirely. Something that required advanced knowledge of sound, space, and physics. Now look at the Maya civilization. The Maya considered underground cenotes, natural sinkholes, to be sacred. These were not just holes in the ground to them. These were important enough to build their most significant structures near them. Below these cenotes, there are extensive underwater cave systems that researchers are still mapping today. In 2018, the world's largest underwater cave system was discovered beneath Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, 347 kilometers long. Inside this cave system, researchers found Maya artifacts, Maya structures, deliberately placed deep underground, deep underwater. These were not accidentally dropped there. They were placed there on purpose. Now stop for a moment. Egypt, Turkey, India, Peru. The Maya civilization. Different civilizations. Different centuries. Different continents. No known contact with each other. And yet all of them went underground. All of them built chambers. All of them built tunnels. All of them engineered these spaces with a level of precision that official explanations cannot fully account for. If these were just storage rooms do not require precision acoustic engineering. If these were just tombs do not require ventilation systems that work 85 meters underground. If these were just military tunnels do not need to be positioned above specific geological formations. Something connected these civilizations. Not trade, not communication, not shared culture. Something they all knew independently. Something that exists beneath the ground itself. And scientists actually have a name for what that something might be. It is called telluric current energy. Telluric currents are real. They are documented. They are measurable. These are natural electrical currents that flow continuously through the Earth's crust, generated by the interaction between the planet's magnetic field and solar radiation. These currents concentrate in specific locations, specific rock formations, specific underground water tables, specific geological structures. Now take every site we have discussed today: Egypt's pyramids, Turkey's underground cities, India's stepwells and cave temples, Peru's acoustic tunnels, the Maya cenotes. Plot them on a map. Then overlay that map with documented telluric current concentration zones. Every single site sits directly on or immediately adjacent to a major telluric zone. Every single one. Now here is where this stops being just archaeology. This becomes about something that happened to human knowledge itself. In the 19th century, real scientists studied telluric currents seriously. Between 1870 and 1895, substantial research was published suggesting these currents could be harnessed as a usable energy source. Nikola Tesla, whose name you already know, conducted specific experiments on transmitting electricity through the ground, rather than through wires. His notes specifically describe how large structures embedded in the earth could amplify and distribute these natural currents. This research was real. It was documented. It was published. And then around 1910 it stopped. Not gradually, not slowly. It stopped. Funding disappeared overnight. Researchers lost their university positions. Published research was quietly reclassified from engineering into speculation. This happened at exactly the same time that Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Vanderbilt were building the largest private fortunes in human history, all based on coal, oil, and the infrastructure to transport them. Those fortunes required one thing above everything else. Energy had to be scarce. Energy had to be something you could not produce yourself, something you had to buy from them. A world where communities could draw natural energy from the ground beneath their feet. That world destroys their entire business model overnight. Is the timing of this suppression a coincidence? You decide. I come back to that map. The map that would not let me sleep. When you mark every major ancient underground site on that map, Egypt, Turkey, India, Peru, the Maya world, and then you lay the telluric current concentration maps on top, the pattern is not subtle. It is exact. These civilizations knew something. Something beneath the ground. Something that we either do not know today, or something that we know but are not told. The sealed door inside the Great Pyramid still sealed. Turkey's 200 underground cities, majority still unexplored. The acoustic tunnels of Shavan de Huantar still not fully understood. These things are not hidden because there are no answers. They are hidden because there are answers, and those answers change too many things for too many powerful people. Conspiracy theories were right. Every ancient civilization hid the same thing below. And that thing was not treasure. It was not the dead. It was knowledge of something beneath the earth that made energy free, that made civilization possible without ownership, without scarcity, without control. We were not supposed to figure this out. But the underground is still there, and it is still pointing us toward the truth.